Today on Time About the Movies, we're wrapping January 2010 up by taking a look at two more movies. One of them is better than the other one, certainly on a better note than we had the last time we met. Mel Gibson saw the success of Taken last year and says, well shit, if Liam Neeson can do it, then so can I. We'll take a look at Edge of Darkness, and we'll also take a look at yet another really bad January romantic comedy. And truth be told, this might actually be worse than Bride Wars and New in Town because, we have a comedy where Kristen Bell is basically stalked by Danny DeVito, her husband Dax Shepard, Will Arnett, John Heder, and potentially Josh Duhamel. We'll take a look at When in Rome. Two movies today as we wrap January up, January 29th, 2010, on Time About the Movies. Coming up next.
Did you shoot my daughter? Welcome to hell. This is someone armed and dangerous. What do you think I am?
You are out of your depth and far from your jurisdiction.
My daughter was in a Cleveland. I'm not going to arrest anyone. Edge of Darkness. I'm the guy with nothing to lose. Fasten your seatbelt. Leave it on.
Welcome to Time About the Movies, where today we're taking a look at the movies of January 29th, 2010, and that's our first movie, Mel Gibson starring in Edge of Darkness, as Mel Gibson plays a homicide detective who's investigating the death of his activist daughter, not only uncovering her secret life, but also a corporate cover-up and government collusion that attracts an agent tasked with clearing up the evidence, the agent being played by Ray Winstone from Beowulf and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You know, at this point, it had been 7 years since Mel Gibson was on the big screen, which is hard to believe. You don't really realize that. And that's 7 years from The Singing Detective, which was the last movie that he was in that I saw him in. But most people, wide audiences, haven't seen him in a movie since Signs back in 2000. I mean, yeah, he did The Passion of the Christ in 2004, but he was the director behind that. And the only thing that he was really well known for in the news at that time was the fact that, he had that little thing in the mid-2000s. Basically, he got arrested, and he went on a rant about Jews, saying, effing Jews, the Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world, are you a Jew, that type of stuff. And keep in mind, this was several months before another controversy came out where he was telling his, I think it was his girlfriend at the time, or his wife. They were partners, and they weren't officially married, but they had a phone call that was leaked out where he suggested that if she got raped by a pack of N-words, she would be to blame and threatened to burn down her house while she was inside it. So yeah, 2010 was not the best year for Mel Gibson trying to make a comeback, but hey, at least it started off on a positive note with this film, Edge of Darkness, which, truth be told, it's actually kind of good. It's pretty much, like I said, it's Mel Gibson's Taken. It's Mel Gibson's Death Wish. It's more like Death Wish, honestly, because, of course, the daughter doesn't make it in this movie, but she doesn't Taken. She survives, but as much of a ripoff of Taken as it is still a kick-ass movie. Mel Gibson does give a very believable performance, and he is pretty badass in here. And you do feel bad for him when his daughter gets killed. I mean, you could tell the guy was putting his effort into it. It shows that, yeah, he's still a good actor. I mean, regardless of the stuff that was going on in his personal life around that time. But the guy still proves he's got the acting chops overall. And it's just like, yeah, this was a really good movie. This is based off of a miniseries, too, which is made coincidentally by the same director, Martin Campbell, who, of course, was the guy who not once but twice successfully brought back James Bond with Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. GoldenEye, Casino Royale come to mind. And, yeah, it's a good movie overall. You still can't oversee the similarities of stuff like Taken and Death Wish. It's very much like that. I will say this, though. The ending overall is very anticlimactic, and it doesn't really hurt the film overall, but let's just put it this way. Did you see the end of Gran Torino? It's kind of like that, except that, yeah, except it doesn't really, like with Gran Torino, it doesn't really ruin the flow of the movie. It just felt like it was very much something where it's just kind of like, well, that went nowhere, but, like I said, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but overall, I liked it. I think it's a good action thriller. It's well-directed, well-written. Mel Gibson, I thought, was on his way to a comeback is when this came out. Like Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson. I felt like maybe he could get back on that track again, proving that he's ready to clean up his image and refocus on getting his career back in time. And then 6 months later came around, and it's just like, yeah, there's no going back for him. But he has made some good stuff since then. I mean, he did Hacksaw Ridge, which was pretty good, but yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, it's a good movie. Not one of his better movies overall, but I liked it. At least it's a better way to wrap January off than some of the bad movies we've taken a look at already. Case in point with our last film that we have here, and welcome back to another really bad January comedy. We're now 4 for 4 now over the last 2 years. Bride Wars, New in Town, Leap Year. Actually, if you want to count romantic comedies, I should say, because I'd be including stuff like Paul Blart Mall Cop, Tooth Fairy, and Spy Next Door. But romantic comedies, Bride Wars, New in Town, Leap Year, and now, When in Rome.
Great job, you guys. That's me in the headset. A few days ago, I was a very happy New Yorker until one night I ran into my ex.
I met someone, and we're getting engaged.
Son of a...
Hey, Nick, we read your column every week.
Yeah? I would appreciate you and me chatting up 2 ladies and leaving the one that knows more about Wookiees alone with this.
No.
No?
No.
No? No. How about yes? Okay.
So I'm in the most magical city on earth for my sister's wedding. And that's where I met him.
Well, it's vase breaking time. The maid of honor shatters a vase, and it symbolizes happiness for the bride and groom. So smash it hard.
They do that for good luck. I'm Nick, by the way.
Beth.
It's my bad.
When it comes to love, I've never had too much luck.
You owe me to it, Beth.
But this is what the Romans call the fontana de amore. If you throw in a coin, you find love. So maybe if I take a few, like you, and you, and you, some of the magic will rub off on me.
What were you doing in the Fontana de Amore? Picking up coins. Seth, we got a problem. If you take someone's coin from the fountain, they will fall in love with you.
That is ridiculous.
Have any men come on to you since the wedding?
Beth, I've seen that look before. You're intimidated because I'm a model.
Whoa.
Yes. You're welcome. Whoa, where are you going? Can someone call the vet? Because these puppies are sick.
Hello?
Hey, it's Nick.
I was just thinking about you. If what they say about the fountain is true, how will I ever know if Nick is for real?
You think you're real charming, don't you?
Tove?
I'm gonna prove my love to you!
Seriously, how many guys have you seen?
Those guys don't know me.
Beth, hi!
Why don't you leave me alone? I don't know you.
Beth, it's me. Your dentist.
Oh, sorry. I'm flossing twice a day.
Oh, good.
When in Rome.
Hey, look at you. A great-looking couple.
Who would have guessed that of all those couples, it would not be Kristen Bell and Josh Duhamel would get together later on in life, but Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. Believe it or not, that chemistry they had there eventually led to them getting married. And honestly, if you've watched the Carvana commercials that they're in and all those other commercials they're in, they do have good chemistry together in those commercials. I mean, it's not like, you know how they always say never work with your spouse? Well, in this case, both of them paid it off big time. But then again, maybe it's just in commercials, because then Dax Shepard did Chips with his wife Kristen Bell in that movie, and that was not a great movie either. But anyway, Kristen Bell plays Beth, a hard-working career lady whose last beau left her because she put her work above him. When he tells her he's found another career woman and is willing to stick it out with her and is engaged to her, Beth feels that there is no one for her. When she goes to Rome to attend her sister's impromptu wedding, we'll get to that in just a second, because this plot is a doozy, man. She's attracted to Nick, played by Josh Duhamel, who's the best man. But after she sees him with another woman, she gets drunk, waits back to New York, 4 men start coming on to her, and Nick keeps calling to ask her out. She later learns that what she did is a no-no. It says that a legend says that if you take a coin out of the fountain that they have there, which I don't have the name of it right now, I'll get to that in a second too, the person who throws it will fall in love with whoever takes the coin, so she must find a way to break the curse. She likes Nick, but wonders if he is with her because he wants to be or just because he is under the spell. How can she find out? Well, if you go to Wikipedia, it runs down the plot synopsis, and basically I'd be saving you a whole lot of time because no one should have to sit through this garbage movie. Because, yeah, this is, like I said before, a bad January romantic comedy. And The Fountain in particular, it's called, Well, it's based off of Trevi Fountain, but it's called in the movie the Fountain of Love, and the whole thing is that, you pick up all these coins, and supposedly it's gonna allow you to fall. It means that the person who threw it in there is gonna instantly fall in love with you. And as you see in the trailer, 4 different people come to mind here. You have Danny DeVito, Dax Shepard, John Heder, Will Arnett, and then the 5th one is what they think is Josh Duhamel, but it turns out that it's not really that at all. But yeah, this movie sucks. I mean, this movie is terrible. This is a film that is so lazy. And let's talk about the thing that really irks me right off the bat. The whole reason why she's in Rome, Kristen Bell's character, is because her sister, who is younger than her, is getting married. She's supposedly like I think she's in like her mid-20s, and she's just like, and even Kristen Bell's basically telling her, you shouldn't be doing this right now. You're way too young to be doing this. And then she's just like, when you're in love with someone, you just gotta go with it. It's just like, no, you don't gotta go with that. It's just kind of like that's one of those things I really don't understand about these movies right away. It's just like all these bad romantic comedies have people who are clearly way too young to be married and settle down. And they have to get married because nobody out there wants to say the positive, wants to say what you should be saying to them. It's just like, take your time, slow down, wait to see what happens, because her sister is getting married to this guy, I think like 2 weeks after she met him for the first time. It was something smaller than that, because it's like with Christmas with the Cranks, the whole thing where the daughter comes back home for the holidays and says she's going to get married to this guy that she literally just met 2 weeks ago. It's just like, look, it works in Disney movies, in Disney animated movies, because it's a fairy tale. It runs on fairy tale logic. This is supposed to be the real world. This does not work in real life. If you were really getting married at that age that this character is, I think she's like I think she's mid-20s or something like that. Or either that or 21 years old. The actress herself is about 20. Was about 26 when this came out. So let's just say around that front there. But what's interesting about this whole thing is that this actress Alexis Dazenia, who was also in Fool's Gold 2, where she really did look like she was way too young to be in that movie as kind of a little love interest to Matthew McConaughey's character. But yeah, she has not done anything of noteworthiness since 2014. I guess there was something where, I guess maybe because her ex-boyfriend she got a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend, and basically that was part of the reason why that she actually did also try to get a restraining order from her parents too. So maybe there's something deeper going on in there. But overall, yeah, the whole point of this is just like, she was way too young to get married in this movie, and somebody should have had the nerve to come out and say, hey, don't do this. It shouldn't just have to be Kristen Bell, which is very funny when you think about it, because Kristen Bell's character in Frozen basically does the same thing that her sister does in this movie. It's like she's ready to get married right off the bat. But again, that's a Disney fairy tale. That's an animated Disney fairy tale. This is supposed to be a real-life movie, and I'm just so sick and tired of these stupid romantic comedies with the stupid tropes, like the whole thing where she's just like, smash the vase down because it means we're going to have a long, happy marriage. It's just like, don't screw it up, and then, of course, the thing doesn't break easily. It's just like, for God's sakes, just fucking throw the thing already and just break it. I mean, it's not that hard to do, and then all of a sudden she's the monster because she didn't do it right. It's just like, fuck you, man, And then we haven't even gotten to the people who are the coins that she took from everybody. Like, you have Will Arnett, who's a street artist. Like, you see in a little bit in the trailer there that he becomes so obsessed with her, he literally makes a picture of a graffiti picture of her on a brick wall with her literally naked and wearing panties. I mean, that's not creepy at all. But then you have the guy who Dax Shepard's character, who's basically a fitness nut, and then you have John Eder's character, who's kind of like this goth guy or so, and apparently because this movie is desperate, we got to bring in his pal from Napoleon Dynamite, Edgar Ramirez. Pedro is in this movie for no other reason except to just be that guy in there. The only sane one of the group in here is Danny DeVito, and he's the only one who is actually giving it his all in here. But then again, it's Danny DeVito. I mean, Danny DeVito, is somebody who will always give 110% no matter how bad the movie is. I mean, and believe it or not, he's actually one of the more restrained performances in this movie when you really think about it. But other than that, though, yeah, the movie itself just really isn't that good. And the chemistry between Belle and Duhamel just doesn't work at all. And this thing did something so egregious and so god-awful that's why I really didn't like this movie a lot. Kate Micucci's also in this movie, too, which, if you don't know who that is, you probably have heard her voice before. She's most known for her work as Velma in the Scooby-Doo series, and she's Webby on the recent DuckTales reboot. She's done a lot of other stuff too. She's part of this music group with Ricky Lindholm, Garfunkel, and Oates. I don't know if they're still together or not, but yeah, she's somebody who's definitely, she's very good. She's actually very, very funny and she actually can sing pretty well. But she plays her best friend, Kristen Bell's best friend in this movie, and for no particular reason whatsoever. The movie's literally about to wrap up, and she basically decides, I'm going to go steal the coins because we need to get another climax, and we need to add 30 more minutes to the plot of this movie. The movie was literally going to end at that point, and the only reason that's in there is because we need filler, because this thing is barely 90 minutes long, and I guarantee you that's the reason why they threw that in there, because they were under the feature film limit that they needed to. So let's throw in a pointless subplot to get this going, a pointless climax here to get this thing going. It's just like, when she does that, it's just kind of like, that was the point where I just threw my hands up in the air and said, I give up on this garbage. And but then again, when you look at the people who made this, guess who the director of this was? Good old hack director Mark Steven Johnson, the man who completely destroyed Daredevil and Ghost Rider, and the writers David Diamond and David Weisman, whose last incredible work was Old Dogs. And they also wrote Evolution, too. So yeah, this thing was dead on arrival from the get-go. I mean, this is a lousy movie, man, and a waste of true talent all across the board. Everybody in this movie is better than this. Everyone who's in this film deserves a whole lot better than this pile of garbage. This is the typical bad romantic comedy that comes out every January that the studio tries to put it in here so they can make a quick buck off of it, which this thing unfortunately did. It made $43 million worldwide over a $28 million budget, so it was successful, but this is one of those movies that I guarantee you, with the combination of this and Old Dogs, how badly received they were, these are the reasons why Touchstone Pictures is no longer a major studio anymore. This is why, when it comes to Disney and their more adult films, 20th Century Fox was absorbed into them. I mean, this is the prime definition of how you make a movie that could kill a studio. And yeah, this is garbage, man. This is 100% garbage. I mean, this is definitely high up there with some of the worst romantic comedies I have ever seen in my entire life. This is bad. This is so much of a bad movie. It's so bad I've wasted 10 minutes of your time talking about it. That's how terrible this is. So yeah, needless to say, when in Rome, just go ahead and not see When in Rome. I mean, that's probably the best way to end this. So yeah, please avoid this one like the plague. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and we wrap up January. As we look at February coming up, we take a look at the film that knocked down Avatar at the box office. Channing Tatum and Amanda Seyfried starring in the latest Nicholas Sparks feature, Dear John. The director of Taken is back with a brand new movie, From Paris with Love, starring John Travolta, coked up out of his mind, along with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and Maggie Q. And we have Frozen. Not that Frozen, the other Frozen, the one that came out early on in the decade. We'll take a look at that one there. So we got 3 films to take a look at next time around in the show. So definitely be on the lookout for that one coming up tomorrow. But with all that said, if you like this video and want to see more of them, please go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, as well as the bell. And also, don't forget to hit our playlist over here, as well as the previous episode up there. So with all that said, thank you very much for watching this. And whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. So until then, take care.